Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test. Test, test, test. Testing, testing. Testing. One, two, three. 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 Testing, testing. One, two, three. Testing. One, two, three. Testing. One, two, three. Testing. Test, test, test. Test, test, testing. One, two, three. Test. Test. Test, test, test. 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 Testing. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? This is loud. What is good? How's the audio? Test. Test, test, test. Yeah, those pants are kind of sus. Yeah. Test. How's the audio? Test. 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 How's the audio? How's the audio? How's the audio? Test. Test. Testing the audio. How's the audio? Test. Oh, really? Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay, cool. What's going on, y'all? What are y'all doing? On this what's that? Young Sheldon? That's a dope name. That's a good show. Young Sheldon. Say hi, good. Hey, what's going on? Kyson Williams, what up? What up? What's that? Ran 67. What's good? Goes to YT. What's good? What am I saying? What do you mean? What am I saying? Opinion on new artists from New York City. Hmm? Ice Wolof? Never heard of him. What kind of artist is he? That sound like drill. I like drill a lot. I make drill beats. I make beats too, y'all. I produce. I play like a hold on. Uh yeah, get you out of here. Yeah. Get you out of here, my boy. UK or America drill. Both. I like UK drill a little better. Um I think it's more vicious, you know. It's just the American stuff is just kind of meh, you know. And I like this slang. I like UK slang, you know. So yeah, I love UK drill, you know. But what y'all think about Drake? Yeah, I love God, of course, of course. Oh, thank you for the sub, man. Thank you. Just do it again. Look, okay, I know what to do with you. block you, because you can't. Uh, yeah, you get 24 hours. Get you out of here. Yeah. Yo, listen, all the racist stuff, like I don't, you know, I don't, I don't stand for that. You know, I don't, and I came up at a time where, I grew up in Jersey, then I ended up moving to New York. But the dudes I hung with, I remember, I don't know who this dude was, but he did the wrong thing. It was me, and I was like the only black dude, but he was like new to like the crew. He was from the South. He tried that, N word this and N-word. I want to say it, but N word this and N word that. And I was kind of shocked, like, oh snap. And then I hear my man Tony Tedesco like, hey yo, we don't play that. And after it just kind of like, oh, I had to pull my boys off the dude. So I don't, I mean? Like I don't, you know, the people I hung with, we wasn't really with that, man. We went with the racism stuff. So when I see that in the chat, I'm like, I know cats that'll mash you out. And the stuff you saying, they look just, you know what I mean? They look just like you. You be like, wonder why. I don't know. I don't play that, man. I don't like it against people, and I don't like it done to me. So yes, I am. Are you ready? What kind of fruit have you produced? Are you making disciples? Are you leading people to Christ? Are you doing Bible studies? That's what I do. You know, I understand spreading the message, but fear is not going to work. You got to actually live the words that you preach. You gotta you gotta be the person. Pe- humans humans do not learn by words. They learn by the words of God, and they learn after they done experienced it. And it's like I told you don't do that, but you affect people by living it. You could preach all you want. If you're not living it, they not hearing it. That's what took me away from a Christianity. And I, I'm a Christian now, but that's the issue I had because I was associating the people with the religion. I had to separate the two. But I must admit, as a Christian and a disciple of Jesus Christ, that we have this arrogance that you know we have an arrogance, and God hates arrogance. He hates pride. You know, I mean, that's cool that you pray that we both make it. I know I'm gonna make it. I have that much confidence. I can, you know, I can give a reason for the faith I profess. You know these scriptures. You know what I mean? I really didn't want to bring it to God because I know religion is a touchy situation. You know, but I try to separate things. I don't. You know, I don't like to wear. I don't like to walk around. I'm a Christian. I like my words and my wisdom and my actions to speak for it. To speak. You know, um, So Spider Man is the real Jesus. Yeah, right. He's he shot some waves on the water. That's how he walked on them. Yeah, just messing around. But yeah, man. Um, yeah, man. Matter of fact, I got two boys. I lead the family devos, and then I teach my sons how to lead family devos, and then I taught my daughters how to lead family devos, and I taught my daughters how to do lead Bible talks. I taught my sons how to lead Bible talks. because the Bible commands us, the older men teach the younger men, the older women teach the younger women. You know what I mean? So, um, I could talk God all day. You know, this is mainly a drum channel, but I could talk God all day. You know, and I don't think people necessarily want to hear that. So you know, and bro, I used to be a street preacher. I used to be a street preacher. I've been doing this Christianity thing, man. I was committed since I knew I was gonna become a Christian. I knew I was gonna be a drummer. I like, you know, I just knew it. You know, um, and I tried to give up music, and God was like, not now, no. It's like a boomerang. I try to give away music, it come right back to me. God like, you got, you know what I mean. So that's what gives me the confidence to play or to pursue playing. You know what I mean. I didn't gave it up, man. I gave it up for God. I was like, you know what, God, I feel like music is my idol. So I'm giving it up. And our church band, we have a gospel group called Deeper Shade of Soul. And they do shows all around Atlanta and what have you. And they were doing a show at the Roxy. And like when I studied the Bible, I hear you. Yeah, I talk to God like he know me too. Like like I talk to Jesus like he's my brother because he is my brother. You know what I mean? Um, but I love this. But the thing is, you know, like street preaching, all that stuff, man. I did all that, man. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, whatever. You know, you know. But yeah, man. God keeps. Let me tell you something, man. I done had. This is how I got a home studio. I'll tell you a little story. This is how I got a home studio. Um, I was doing maintenance and pursuing music, and my wife was a stay-at-home mom. We had two kids. We lived in a two-bedroom apartment, three-bedroom, one, two-bedroom apartment, three-bedroom. It was three-bedroom. We lived in a three-bedroom apartment, and yeah, of course, she was a stay-at-home mom. The kids were babies. I was working maintenance, and I was playing in a church band, and I was playing in a hip hop band, and I was also doing my own thing. I had rented a garage. The apartments we had, they had garage. So I rented a small garage, and it was kind of like a time limit where you could kind of play, what have you, you know. So my wife and I fasted. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. My wife and I fasted, and we fasted for 21 days. She was pregnant with our third at the time. Um, Before we fasted, about 6 months before we fasted, let me backtrack. I got the urge to get boxes and start packing. I don't know why. I just got the urge to start packing. My wife's like, "Why are you getting boxes? Why are you packing stuff up?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just have that urge." And 6 months, yeah, about 6 months later, we fast for 21 days, and my wife was pregnant, and she was like in her eighth month. So she fasted on the world, no social media, no nothing. I fasted on the world, no social media. I fasted on sex. I fasted on, I ate like I had to eat because my job was so strenuous. So I was only eating rice and boiled chicken, unflavored, you know. Um, my prayer was to be a professional musician. Her prayer was to do something with her life outside of being a stay-at-home mom. So after the 21 days, I, part of my prayer was, okay, God, I love music. It is a burning fire inside my stomach. But if I don't fulfill it, I'm going to be miserable. So either A, put me in a situation where I can make money off my music, or B, put me in a situation where I can play, but I'm okay. You know, I'm okay. I'm good. Well, um, fast forward 2 weeks before my wife was going to have our third child. Um, I had got, well, after that 21-day fast, I had ended up getting a raise and a promotion. So it was just like that. Um, and my wife was kind of like, she's still kind of looking for things, but looking for an answer. But she's like, by this time, she's like, 9.5, nine months pregnant. She's 2 weeks from having birth, 2 weeks from giving birth. So within those 2 weeks, I get fired. A week goes by, I get fired. I'm like, there's in Philippians it talks about the peace that surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus Christ. Everybody in the church were like, oh my goodness, you got 2 and 1 on the way. What are you gonna do? So we put our stuff in storage. I knew another couple. Well, my wife knew another couple where they had an apartment. They just had it. It was furnished, everything. They was like, y'all stay over there. It's like, okay. Um, we went on a Friday because it was a scheduled C-section on a Friday. Had the baby. Family came by Saturday. Sunday morning. I mean, and we're good. Everybody's like, oh my God, enjoy. We're happy. I mean, we literally like, God got us. It's good. We good. So all of a sudden, Sunday, we're doing communion. I prepared a little communion. We sitting there, we praying. I'm kind of sharing what I learned, blah, 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 and this and that. Sharing with my wife the Bible. And then I said, okay, God, blah, 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 blah. We love you. We thank you for everything you've done for us. And we break this bread and, to represent the body. And then we drink this juice to represent the blood, blah, blah. It's grape juice. So just as we bow our heads. As a matter of fact, we didn't even get to eat the juice and the crackers. As we were bowing our heads, my friend Clark, my two friends, Clark and Kathy Johnson, they're like, they got a lot of money. So they come walking in like, hey, we heard about your situation. So he calls me outside. The ladies are inside. She's an OBGYN. The lady is talking to my wife. Kathy's talking to my wife. I'm talking to Clark. Clark's like, yeah, man, I heard about your situation. I got a house for you. Just like that. And he was like, how much can you afford? I was like, I don't know, whatever. I'm cheap. He was like, look, man, just give me $800. I was like, a month? So we, that's what we did. We ended up buying it, off him. And then another time, so we're in this house. I move everything in. I move the kids in. I move my wife in. So now we in this house. We good. We straight. I'm still unemployed, but I'm collecting unemployment, and I still had some cash saved. So it was good. We floating it. We floating it. By then, my wife is like, I want to be a therapist. So she got to go back to school. Okay, so she go back to school. After she done had our third, she goes back to school. Um, just as she goes back to school, long story short, we get a 6-figure check from an insurance company. My wife's mother was murdered when my wife was 9. It's part of the reason why she became a therapist. To help other kids that were in the same situation. But they had been looking for her for 23 years. And the biggest thing was, is Georgia going to honor the 23 years of interest? Turns out Georgia honored the 23 years of interest. Now, before we got that check, something told me, write a list of all the studio equipment you want. So I literally just started, went on the internet, I wrote a list of everything I wanted to do. Then a friend of mine he comes to church. He was an audio engineer in New York, but he moved down here to Atlanta, where I live now. He goes, I saw this console and I thought of you. Like, okay. This is when the Behringer first came out. Nobody had it. I was like, geesh, that's nice. I ain't got the Skrilla for that. Fast forward, the check comes. And my wife is like, you still got that list? And that's how I got a recording studio, a home studio. That's how I got it. And then fast forward, my wife, she got her master's, MSW, it's just, a master's in social work, whatever. So now she's a therapist. She specializes in grief and trauma and what have you. So yeah, you know, and now she was a stay-at-home mom, but now I work for her. So, you know, she got like every American woman's dream. She got the career and she got the family. She got the business and she got the family. So, I do all her video, I do the audio, I do all the music, all that stuff. So, it is what it is, man. God works stuff out, man. He works stuff out. We wanted jobs where we could work from home. She works from home. I work from home. When she needs to go to the office, she goes to her office. I take care of that because I have maintenance background. So it is what it is. Um, so yeah, man, that's a little bit about my story. I ain't really want to go into the whole God thing, but I moved down. I moved to Atlanta looking for God. I was living in Brooklyn at the time. I've been homeless for like 10 years, man. You know, like homeless, like eating out of garbage cans, homeless, like wearing the same clothes for like years, homeless. I still got a pair of pants, and I keep them. In the Bible, they told the Israelites to keep memorials. I keep my memorials, them pants, and I add them pants and a Gideon Bible. That's my memorial to remind me of what God, to never forget. You know what I mean? So, you know, and the crazy thing is, I shared kind of, talking about God to this homeless dude, and he was like looking down on me. And it was funny because at the time I was dressed really nice. I had a nice blazer on and everything. I was dressed really nice. And I was like, wow. Like pride is wild. Pride is wild, man. I was like, because I was on drugs, man. You know what I mean? But pride is wild, bro. He's like, well, I'm not on drugs. I was like, Negro, you stink. You smell like urine. I ain't tell him that, but I'm like, Negro, you stink. You smell like urine. You got a lot of nerve. And I was like, pride makes you stupid. I'm like it's in the Bible. Pride makes you stupid. You know what I mean? Like as a matter of fact, it's in Luke. It's in Luke. Um, said he stupefies or confounds. The Bible says confounds the thoughts of the proud. Pride makes you stupid. You prideful, make you stupid. Make you do stupid stuff. You know what I mean? So, you know. But yeah, I've been through a lot, man. I'll write a book about it. People keep telling me to write a book. So yeah, I try to tell people, man. You know, you know what I mean. And I'm gonna say this: I went to prison, and when I went to prison, I was just dabbling with all kinds of stuff. But I ended up going to prison, and I said I'm gonna figure this God thing out. And I was like, and plus, like half my family's like Jehovah's Witnesses, and the other half is like Catholic. So it's kind of like, one side gonna make me feel guilty, and the other side gonna beat me in the head with some doctrine. So it's like, nah, And I mean, I just don't, I got personal experience with those religions, so I don't want to offend nobody. They just not for me. Um, I'm just a regular Christian, just regular Christian, a Bible believer. That's it. Believe, repent, be baptized, whatever. You know, I believe what the Bible says. You know what I mean? Um, but I'm not wrapped up in the dogma and the doctrine. Like, you know what I mean? I don't agree with how, you know, like there's a lot of things that the Bible speaks against, but I don't move on that. I don't move on with, you know what I mean? I don't move on. Well, I'm better than you because I don't engage in. Man, I was wild, bro. I was wild. So I have no room to talk about anybody. You know, whether you gay, whether you straight. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, my closest